The Great Debate Series. Best Sports Rivalries.
Now, today is Best Individual Sports Rivalry. And so, would you like me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. The greatest individual sports rivalry of all time is Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird. Now, you might say, Maggie, they both played on teams. No. Everyone knows that it was all about Magic and Larry going mesa a mesa, mano a mano. Now, it started off in college, obviously, with Magic going to Michigan State and Larry originally going into Indiana, but then going to Indiana State. They meet, of course, in the championship game where Magic and the Spartans win. Magic is the MVP of the Final Four that year, but Larry is College Player of the Year. Then, of course, they go to the NBA, and where do they go? To the two most iconic franchises in the entire league, with Magic going to Los Angeles, Larry going to the Celtics. They met 3 times in the finals in 84, 85, and 87. Boston won the first one. The Lakers won the next 2. So you get Larry finishing as a 3-time champion, Magic as a 5-time champion. And there was, a lot more to this. Not that they never feuded, though. Magic and Larry always had a very cordial relationship, although Larry did call losing to Magic in the championship game, quote, the one thing I'll never get over as long as I live. So they were very competitive. But the thing about the rivalry that the two of them never asked for, but kind of was put upon them, was obviously the racial element, where Larry is like the great white hope.
Larry Bird and Magic Johnson?
And then Magic was like, oh, well, he's like natural talent, and flashy. And it was these, racial stereotypes that were not true and that were really put upon both of these men that neither of them asked for nor wanted. Incredible, grew the league in a way that, was exponential.
Sure.
And I think that is the greatest individual rivalry of all time.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen the HBO documentary. They didn't know each other or get along at all. Not get along, and they did this Converse commercial together and started to become sneaky friends.
Sneaky friends, yeah.
Which is great. It makes it all better. The new HBO show written by our buddy Jeff Pearlman, Winning Time, is coming back. And I saw a commercial. It's all Bird Magic. 100% Bird Magic. Do you remember in the one where they could do the right thing when the guy is wearing the Bird jersey?
Yeah.
And it caused, talking about the racial background
racial
of that, it was obviously symbolic, which is why I think mine is a more important rivalry because of the symbolism, not to mention the sports aspect. Frazier Ali is a classic individual rivalry. So the biggest fight in the history of boxing was in 1971, undefeated Muhammad Ali versus undefeated Joe Frazier.
Yep.
Up until that point, I think I have this right, 2 undefeated heavyweight champions had not squared off because the belts were unified before that. But Muhammad Ali obviously had to go away because of his legal trouble with Vietnam. So they had this fight in Madison Square Garden, and the whole country took sides. Those on the left took Ali. Those on the right took Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier, of course, was a legend in my hometown of Philadelphia. I met him in 4th grade.
Wow.
No big deal. I got to feel his bicep, which sounds creepy now, but it was really cool.
Was he okay with it? Did you ask him permission?
Well, he got in front of the class, and he made a fist, and he goes, all right, everyone want to climb on my arm, and a bunch of kids just jumped up on his arm. And he was an unbelievably nice man.
That sounds
So Frazier and Ali had this back and forth. Ali moved to Philadelphia, actually lived, I've heard, 2 blocks from where I grew up in Penn, Pennsylvania. So there was so much going on behind the scenes because of Ali.
Yeah,
Ali
some of Ali's training camps were in the Poconos.
Yeah, Ali in Vietnam was boiling. So he became such a cultural touch point. I mean, picture like the Colin Kaepernick controversy times 100. That's what, in the movies, I saw the movie Ali, and I've seen other documentaries on this. It was just huge. When We Were Kings talked a lot about this. Anyway, so they had 3 fights. Muhammad Ali, Frazier 2, and then the Thrilla and Manila. What a great nicknames. And this is a time when boxing was the sport. The early 70s. The two of them just stood for completely different things. Joe Frazier, the workman-like guy, and Muhammad Ali, the poet laureate of sports.
Yep.
And the thing is, they had these great fights and just sort of brutalize each other, and that's what rivalries are all about. Now, I'm a big fan of the Bird Magic.
No,
rivalry.
I know, and I'm a big fan of the Ali Frazier. The one thing about Ali Frazier, which is, of course, an all-time incredible rivalry, but Ali also had rivalries with George Foreman.
Yeah.
He had rivalries with Sonny Liston. It's like not as much as Frazier, but...
Whoops, Sonny Liston.
Fan of Punch. I mean, I guess maybe more with Foreman. But
it
is the iconic, rivalry.
Yeah, I think.
And the 3 fights. And,
boxing is good for rivalries, too. We all love.
You need them.
We loved Hagler Hearns. Yeah. What's the one with Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran? Yeah. Boxing is just lends itself to it. Basketball is a team sport, Maggie. Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale and James Worthy had a little to do with this.
Don't bring Danny Ainge into my argument, okay? I don't want to hear about that. It was all about Magic. It was all about Larry.